go. Awesome. Let me open this up. My name is Joshua Dunsky, and welcome. We are going to have a very special call tonight to recap what just happened out in Las Vegas for everybody who was there, who wasn't there, who wanted to be there. My goodness, this was every year these celebrations get better and better and better. It is an absolute privilege to be able to have this company behind myself and my family and all of you as well. I know you feel the same way. This is such a gift that we've been given, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So tonight we're going to go over everything, or a lot of the key topics, key points. We're going to open up our call at the end for our business forum. Tonight is a business call. We're not going to talk about ingredients. We're going to talk about the business. And it's so nice to have a lot of different teams on this call tonight. It's a great thing. So let's jump right in, and we're going to hear from a number of different people tonight. Number one, I want to give out a little bit of information first before we get started. 80% of this business is psychological. 80% is psychological. 20% is the how and the technique. So we're going to dive into that. 80% of our business are just customers. 15% of our business are people that say they want it, and 5% are actual builders. And out of the 5%, there's a small percentage of that 5% that actually hit big numbers. So how is that, and why does that happen? And what we've all learned is that that's a simple choice. It doesn't matter our background. It doesn't matter where we came from, experience or no experience. We see that the whole board, the whole conglomerate, it doesn't matter of what happened yesterday. It matters where you are today, and where you want to be tomorrow. That's it. So your job as leaders, everybody on here, if you've enrolled one person, you're a leader. We're all leaders. Our job as leaders is simply to build confidence to lead your people and to show them. That's it. That's what a leader is. You build confidence in your leaders and you show them how to lead their people. And many people struggle in this business. The success rate actually is about 2 millimeters between people who make it and people who don't make it. And that's a simple choice. It's simple to show someone how to get to Crystal Executive. There's that chart that we have. We printed out of our back office. There's the map for Crystal Executive. The hard part is when you get home and you're all by yourself and you pick up the phone. That's hard. It's still hard for us sometimes. It's hard for all of you beautiful leaders on here sometimes, I notice, because you talk about it and we feel it. So what separates people from making 30 calls, making 20 calls, or almost making one call? It's a choice up here. And this weekend and this week in Las Vegas is more armor and more ammunition to do this and really change our lives. So without further ado, I have my piece that I want to teach on tonight, but we're gonna dive right into all of you. So let's get going here. Is Jen Gebby on here? I don't see you anywhere. You on the call yet, Jen?
She's here.
She's here.
Yeah, she's here.
All right. So if everybody could please mute yourselves, and then when you're up to talk, just unmute yourself. So Jen, I'm going to let you take it away. We want to keep this nice and tight, so we're going with about 5 minutes, and we try not to go over. I am going to interrupt people. Unfortunately, I may have to keep it tight to respect everybody's time. So the floor is yours, Mrs. Jen.
Well, Jen is coming back, but can I start?
Yeah, Andrew, go right ahead. This is the Mr. Jen Gebby Bennett.
Mr. Jen Gebby. I mean, I would say my number one takeaway was traveling with a baby is completely different than traveling without a baby. I think I ended up bringing more gear to Vegas deploying with a baby than to Afghanistan deploying with an army. So it was quite the experience, but glad that we brought Chase and our whole family was there. As far as the actual convention goes, I think I had two big takeaways from the company as a whole, because this was actually my first event. I've been on the products for 3 years.
Awesome.
But this is my first actual corporate event. And probably the number one thing that stuck out first was the culture. I've been at a lot of companies, and a lot of companies have really shitty cultures. And that's something that needs to be inspired by the executive team and followed by all the leaders. And that's something that Isogenics seems to have in spades. people are happy. They want to be there. They're not, you know, thinking about where they want to go next. They're not sneaking out of meetings. They just want to learn and they want to interact with other people. They've given $500,000 to Make-A-Wish, which was amazing to watch. And kudos to Josh and Lisa again for doing that. I think Jojo and Vinny too, if they're on the call. But then I guess as far as becoming more a part of the business, I would say that Jen I do owe her a little bit of a, you know, you were right. There is a huge financial opportunity here as well, which is pretty palpable once you meet and interact with a lot of people that have been successful at this for many years. You realize that this is something that you can do with your family, and this is something that can be an engine for change in your life. So yeah, I mean, it was a good experience. I'm glad I went, and it was really cool to see that this isn't just a female's occupation. There are a lot of men there. There should be more men, I guess, but if it took me 3 years, I'm sure there's a lot of dudes in the quarter waiting for their turn. So that's my beef. That's what I got.
Awesome.
So what you're saying is you're all in now?
Andrew's all in.
I'm all in, yeah.
It's on our recording, Jen. I got it.
Yeah. And Jen, before you go, I just want to give a huge congratulations to Jennifer and Andrew, who hit the Start 1000 group. And for those of you that don't know, this is a huge group in the company. At the Start group, our entrepreneurs, our business builders, ages 18 to 35. And when you hit Start 1000, that is a 6-figure income and up. And huge congratulations to Andrew and Jennifer for accomplishing that. That's a big task, and happy for all of you.
Yeah, you know, for me, what's so exciting is, and which I'm very grateful for, Josh and Lisa and Jojo and Vinny getting me to my first celebration 3 years ago. And it really just is a reminder of the importance of events and being able to see that culture and everything that Andrew was just talking about and experiencing. And I remember that first event, and I was sitting up front next to Josh, and he like looked at me and he said, like, that's going to be you. And I remember seeing like the Start group and thinking like, this is too good to be true, but knew it was something that, you know, I was longing for. And I just was unfulfilled in what I was doing, and actually had recently been just shared on Facebook. I was let go from my corporate job because I wasn't doing my job and hitting my numbers because I wasn't passionate anymore and I was unfulfilled. And so anyways, I realized it truly was a blessing, because when that door closed, this culture and community came to me. And so I would say, kind of to add to what Andrew was saying, as far as going to this event now, this is we've been in just over 3 years, but it's my 4th celebration, because I literally went to my first celebration just after being on the product for a couple of months. And going with a child this time, it was just, to me, it was really humbling, one, to see that Eric Cooper and Kelly just had a baby, and they were focused on their family, and they're just leading by example, and still, you know, keeping family first, right? And doing what is right for their families, and being able to step aside. And I really loved Angelique's message as far as, you know, not having your children be, you know, an excuse, but a reason to motivate yourself to keep going, and to inspire yourself to keep going. And, you know, honestly, there were so many times, I would say, over the past 3 years where I was just like, is this the right thing? Should I go back to my corporate job and find a new job? And really, it's been this culture, this community, and all the new people coming along the way that really do lift you up and support and inspire you to keep going on the times when, you know, you don't know if you should keep going. So I'm just really grateful for that, and for all of you who have joined us along the way. And it's just been so fun locking arms with all of you. And I love going to events. I love seeing people face to face. And it's just so crazy that often when you're meeting someone for the first time, you feel like you've known them for years. And so that's the other fun part about this culture.
Awesome. And thank you, Andrew, for bringing your wife to our lecture one rainy night, which started this whole off. So we love you guys, and thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
So let's see. Eliza and Jason, are you guys there? I see you somewhere.
Another power couple.
Another power couple. Where are you? Eliza and Jason Hale. Are you guys muted? Let me find you. There you are. You're muted. There you go.
We're here.
We were muted.
Yeah.
Awesome. How was your experience this past week?
So it was amazing. And I don't know, I can't see everybody on the call, but one thing that I'm really proud of is the fact that this was our first celebration and we were able to bring more than just ourselves with us from our team. Yeah, that to me, you know, it's on my vision board I have a particular number for NYKO, and to be able to bring a couple people, more than a couple people of our team to Celebration was just amazing. So for anybody that hasn't been able to bring any of your team members to an event yet, what I would say to you is step way outside your comfort zone. Those people that you think are going to say no, invite them anyways. Do it personally. Show them how much it means to you that they're there. And that was why we had some of our team there. So yeah, that to me was probably like the most important piece that we were sharing with some of from our own personally.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool, Jay. And you got some stuff you want to train on?
Yeah. So, sorry. Anyway, so one of the things that really stuck out to me, and this really, you had mentioned, or I talked to JoJo and Vinny talking about power couples and things like that, and that sort of dynamic does exist. And I think there are certain couples that when they employ some tools and some sort of rules between each other, there's a way that they can amplify everything that they do. And so this came from our leadership training, which started out with Rob and Kim Murgatroyd. And it basically was some ground rules that they set up between each other to leverage each other's strengths and make things work. So I'll just go through real quick. I don't have all the bullets here, but I'll go through the biggest ones. We can do the first 6. I'll do the first 6. You can do the other ones.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. Go.
All right. So the first one is no competition. So couples that compete with each other, putting against who does more work towards it. It doesn't really help, and in fact, it'll probably drain energy. So number 2, learn your spouse's dream. And when you learn your spouse's, all these other ones sort of leverage on each other, but learn your spouse's dream and know what motivates your partner. Number 3. Number 4, don't demean your spouse in front of the team or in front of others in the team. And number 5, these are in my words. And number 5 was, and I'm saying from my context, make her needs my needs. And they talked about 3 levels. The 3rd level is it's all about me, and in the decreasing levels is the better approach. The 3rd level is all about me. The 2nd level is we each do our own thing. We really don't mingle in the center. And the 1st level is, again, the other's needs are my needs, or in my case, her needs are my needs. And when each other comes together from that direction, you have everything covered. And so number 6 is don't let others' success basically get you down. But if you want to continue on.
Yeah, number 7 was run with that 90-day game plan, which we all are ready to run with, but then walk so that you don't just run, stop. So then there is a walking pace, that you find that groove, and that you incorporate date nights and work with a sustainable pace so that you don't get burnt out. Number 8 was that roles can shift. So when you enter a business with your partner, that there may be a point in the beginning where somebody is the talker and then the other one's the doer, well, those roles can shift and be okay with that. That you have to flow like water. Absolutely. Number 9 was that when one partner is down, the other one has to pick up the slack. So in this instance, if somebody has a really crazy week at their day job, then the other person's going to have to pick up that slack and vice versa. And then number 10, and this is something that applies to anybody, not just couples, is that you have to celebrate every win. And I think as a whole, as a team, I think we do this beautifully. And I think that I don't know if every team does that, but I think as a whole, our Limitless and Unleash You pages, we celebrate every win. And I think that is what keeps people going. So don't forget that.
Awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. That was such a powerful segment.
Congratulations on Crystal Executive as well.
Woo! That's right. Congratulations, guys. Mr. Carter, President Carter, where are you, my friend?
Howdy, guys.
Hey.
Everyone wake up. Come on. No, I'm going to start off, if I may, and just express a huge amount of gratitude. My heart's so full, I could probably go on for 5 or 10 minutes just expressing my gratitude. But first and foremost, a little bit extension from everything you guys have said already, how important events are. So I'm just taking not to make it about me, but I am so extremely grateful that in 2014, I joined this team. And in that summer, didn't have any idea what I was doing, but Mr. Mike Lance, who's here with us on the call, he sent out a message and said, anyone who wants to train with me, I'll give him a ticket to Celebration. And I got a hold of him and I said, I don't know what Celebration is, but let's do it. So if it were not for that and 2014 in San Diego changing my life within the first, half-day segment, I would not be here. And so I am here to give you my testimony that events change people's lives. This was also my first, so I've been to, this is my fourth celebration, I believe. And as I got looking back, heading in, a few months ago, I was determined to bring a team with me. And I'm so thankful that I was able to bring a team for the first time to show them, to let the event do the talking so I can shut my mouth. I brought my girlfriend, Annalisa, my mother, my little brother, and my little brother's fiance, and, they're pregnant. And so to see them kind of just seeing the vision and like I said, I just was able to shut my mouth and let them enjoy it and whatever. So many takeaways, but what I chose to present here tonight, and we'll make this relatively quick, how powerful for you guys that were there, I want you to raise your hands. How powerful was Angelique Norrie starting us off with the why, right? I love that so much. Back to 2014, my first why presentation was Peter Kelly. Man, I was blessed. And if you haven't seen that before, go back. I know we have it on YouTube somewhere. And then Dave MacArthur last year really brought it home with those vision cards and his why presentation. But Angelique blew it out of the water and just touched my heart. I loved how she put together she pretty much said, guys, you need to figure out your why. But for me, I do it in a fun way. And she highlighted, I believe, 6 key areas: faith, family, fitness, fellowship, financial freedom, and fun. And she was able to expand on those. And I really think that those are great areas for people to key in on if you're unsure of your why, if you're still developing that why. So a few other things. I love this part. Instead of giving a lot of just positive talk, I loved how she gave us some tools to identify the distractions. Guys, all distractions are created equal. I love how she put a name on some of these. The sedative. Number 1 was the sedative. It's the other numbing things that we would rather go do than make the calls. The decoys, things we don't have yet. The cars on the vision boards that we're just focusing so much on rather than, I'm not saying that those aren't important, but let's remember the 1, 2, 3, the calls that we make every day. I love this, the happy dreamer. Who's been guilty of sitting there dreaming all day but didn't take any action, right? I know I have. That really got me. The inspirational entertainment seeker. Guys, I've been guilty of this, listening to podcasts, reading books all day. There's a great time for that, but if we're not taking the action. And I think that that was a theme throughout the whole celebration is action. We need to take action. What was the other one? Oh, resistance. Things that, you know, people telling us no, friends belittling us, or, you know, telling us that we're crazy, you know, those can bring us down. So I'm going to end right here. She gave us some great tools, and I want you to write this down if you weren't there. She says, these are the muscles of the spirit. To be able to take fear and turn it into courage. To take resentment and turn it into love. To take comparison, man, that really gets me sometimes. It's hard not to compare, you know, sometimes when you see other people's success. But take comparison and put it into collaboration. Laziness into discipline. Enablement into empowerment. And my favorite, blame into accountability. So they were great shifts rather than focusing on, oh, I'm stuck. These were able to help me shift and really identify what I might be focusing on that's not serving me. So, guys, she ended with the journey of inches, and I loved her little slide, the space between the brain and the heart. We've got to fill that in and get clear, get crystal clear. So I'll end there. Thanks.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I mean, those are some of my highlights, and you just hit them. Everyone that really hit me hard. And thank you, my friend. How's Wayne doing? Is Wayne there with us?
He is. He was just laying on the floor, but I said, do you want to come up? I think he's hurt. You know what he needs, Josh? He needs a chiropractic adjustment from you.
You're right
Hey,
out.
Carter, move your head so everybody can see your map behind you.
Yeah, you see that beautiful yellow map there. Look at that.
Everybody take a look at that. If you don't have one, make one. If you don't have names, put in names of people that you think you might want in your downline. I love it. Way to go, Carter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. So, Donnie, is Donnie on here? If there's so many people, I can't find everybody. I apologize. Donnie, if you're on here, just unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, mine will be kind of short. Can you turn that down? Mine's kind of short. I really got a lot from Susan Sly when she said, you don't get your goals, you get your standards. I really, is everybody hearing me? And I really enjoyed that part of it, because a lot of times you're kind of like, you're writing these goals and you're putting some action behind them, but really how your values are tied into everything and your alignment with those will really carry over of like what you will really put up with as a person, you know, and how you'll utilize your time, because I think all of us could probably recognize that our time is way more valuable than money ever will be. We only get this chunk of time, and then once it's gone, it's gone. And yeah, I really just got a lot from her, just conviction and her desire, and that whole panel really with Lisa DeMeo and the follow-up calls, and just making sure you're constantly doing 20% of the talking, listening 80%, and really just asking questions. You're there to kind of just be somebody who's just kind of empowering them through the process. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Love it, Donnie. And congratulations to you and your success also. I'll tell you, we have the best trainers in the industry in isogenics. And it is so apparent. These people up on stage, these people that we listen to, they're the best of the best. And I feel so grateful for that. Jojo, want to have you jump in here, and you got some good tidbits we all want to listen to and take note on. So thank you, Donnie, for that. And we're going to let Jojo take over here for a little bit.
thank you.
Hey, everyone. Thanks, you guys, for sharing. Appreciate it a whole ton. And for everyone who live streamed in, congratulations for everybody who made the trip. It was great to spend time with all of you. And I know that I've live streamed into an event before when I couldn't be there. And it's not like being there, but it's so good. Still, you get so much of what we have to offer. And, you know, I took away so many different pieces, but what I want to really highlight is, and I know they didn't go into it a lot, but when we were in Banff, when we took a trip for what they call top achievers, and they talked a lot about the sports performance piece of this. And so I just really want to highlight it so you guys understand what this enables us to do at a whole different level. So once upon a time, if I went to a professional athlete that was tested, not all of our products, we only had one product that was NSF certified. And so to put them on the rest of the products, even though we knew that they were clean, and we had several Olympic athletes and many that were being tested and were fine, because we couldn't give the documentation with that, it was sort of a roadblock for us to be able to work with an athlete at a higher level. And with the informed sports certified certification that we now have with our entire AMP line, we can now approach any athlete in any sport, anywhere. It doesn't matter how much they're tested. And actually, what's happened is that's enabled us to have all of those products listed on the WADA website. So that's called the World Anti-Doping Agency. And so if anybody wants to go in there and look, you can see banned substances, you can see substances that are approved. And so now when we're talking to a professional athlete, so it could be high school, especially high school now, they want to see that, college, we can send them right to the Informed Sports site, or they can go right to the WADA website and actually see that we are an approved product. So that's a huge step to be able to work with an athlete at a whole different level. So I just really wanted to highlight that. And the new protein bars, okay, right? So big deal. Big deal for protein pacing. And I know we weren't going to talk a lot about product, but just so you guys know that to be able to add in something that doesn't add in a ton of sugar but adds in the protein, that was a real tough spot for some people in the afternoon to get that protein meal in. And so to be able to protein pace, if you're going to follow Dr. Arciero's protein pacing, these bars are key. So it was a real big enhancement for me. And I've seen that many of the athletes were looking for something that had less sugar and more protein. And so just really awesome to be able to add that in. And they are sport informed certified. So if you want to look at the website, you can go to informed-sport.com and actually type in our products, and you can see that we're all listed there. So just wanted to highlight that so you guys could see it.
Awesome. Awesome, Jojo. And make sure people know, don't eat 3 of those in a row without water. I tested it. I believe in testing everything on myself first. Yeah, those are phenomenal. Love them. And that protein.
So is 3 the max amount before your head explodes?
You're like 2 feet away from the ER after 3. So you want to go with 1, a lot of water, and it's great.
Perfect.
You're awesome, Jojo. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I'm going to jump in here, and then Lisa's going to do some stuff. I want to share with you some things that were so poignant for me, really about me and what I need to do. And I know many of you were very attracted to this also. So I hope everybody's got their pen and paper out. This is recorded, so I can't go too slow because of time here. But I want to talk to you about the DMOs and then the foundation that Susan Sly hit. For me, I need to see things right in front of me. I need to see exactly what I need to do. So I will sit in my driveway. If I give myself 3 phone calls to make or 6 phone calls to make by the time I get home, if they're not done, I don't come inside until I make that last phone call. So here are the DMOs for success. This is from Susan Sly, 3 by 3 by 3. This is beautiful. So the first 3 are make 3 new connections every day. And those connections that some people call looks, some people call conversations, but 3 new, not someone you already talked to, new every day. The second 3 are 3 follow-ups. Follow up with 3 people. You know, I like the number 3 because I can do 5 if I want. I can do 6 if I want, but I can't do less than 3. So if you like a different number, give yourself that number. These are just the numbers that are proven to be successful. And of course, the more you do, the quicker you get to that place. And the last 3 is pour love, greatness, and beauty into 3 people every single day, however you want to do it. If you're going to call them and tell them, look, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you and appreciate what you've done, appreciate what you've done for my family. You can love on them on Facebook, whatever that means to you. But this business becomes fun, and you stop seeing these no's when you're serving other people. If your job is to help other people, you're never going to have a crappy, crappy day. You might get down. You might say, oh, I wish that went my way. But when our mission is to help people, it's not about us. It's about loving and helping other people. So that's 3 by 3 by 3.
Can I add really fast to that?
Yeah.
A lot of people get hung up on this because 3 new connections, they feel like they have to reach out and talk about Isagenix. You do not need to be doing that. And so many people will just stop right there because they don't know what to say or how to start the conversation. What kind of accent was that? My tongue. So really what that means is just have a chat or reach out to someone 3 times each day. You can say hello. You can say, hey, I saw your video on Facebook. It was super cute. You can say, hey, happy birthday. Whatever it is, just start a conversation. It has nothing to do with Isagenix. It has to do with connecting and starting a conversation, because you cannot start presenting what you have before you figure out what they need.
Beautiful. Absolutely. So I want to talk about some questions now. Some questions. This is the stuff that gets me going, that turns me on. Hopefully it resonates. The questions that we ask before the enrollment help this process out so much. It basically streamlines the conversation, because I know, at least for me, it was like, well, here's the information, but how do I present the enrollment to them? And this is something I struggled with for a long time. And when I realized that it's just about asking questions and leading them in a way that they're going to give you a real answer, not making them say something they don't want to say, but leading them so their logical mind gets pushed aside, so their emotional state takes over. And that's where people make that decision to step out of their comfort zone. But that logical state is, oh, my husband's going to kill me. Oh, it's too expensive. That's why these questions bring them to that emotional place. So these are from a mixture of people. I think this was Lynn Hagedorn. How do you want to feel in the morning when you wake up? Right? Isn't that a great question? What does your life look like? What do you want it to look like? Someone said, and forgive me, I think it was Lynn, the pause is where the magic happens. And so when we're talking to people and we slow down and we let them talk, we don't keep talking and proverbial vomit on people. Ask them and pause. If they're not talking, they're thinking. And if you start talking, you're going to interrupt that pattern and it's back to square one. So the magic is in the pause. Linda, what are your goals? How bad do you want this? You want to lose, you've tried for 14 years, for 10 years to lose that weight. How bad do you want to lose that weight? I love this. I forget the gentleman's name on stage. I think he's from Australia. He said, is it going to be easier for you to have chocolate or strawberry for breakfast? I thought that was brilliant. People, wait a second, I can have chocolate and strawberry for breakfast? That's incredible. Is it going to be easier for you? This is another good gem. Is it going to be easier for you to do this program by yourself or to have 2 accountability partners with you? How great is that? Asking someone, you're planting the seed that, wait, I can share this with people without saying there's a business and it's 2 by 2 and then we share when you get paid. None of that. You're just saying, listen, is it going to be easier to do it by yourself or with 2 accountability partners? How about this? Hey, Linda, have you set any New Year's resolutions? She says yes or no. She says yes. How are you doing with them? Okay. And if I could always, the Eric Worre, if I could show you a way, ... Someone wants to take more vacations. They're married to their work. If I could show you a way to not be married to work, maybe to go to a 3-day work week, maybe to cut out 2 of those jobs out of the 3, to have that freedom. The next section is objections. And when people say, that costs too much, or I don't have enough money. Well, how much money do you think it takes? Turn that right around. I thought this is brilliant. How much money do you think it takes? Let them tell you, because we know the value here. If you don't know the value, then everything's expensive. Your pen's expensive. Your cable TV expense is expensive unless you value that cable TV. It's the same thing. Or how about this? I don't have enough time. Anybody on here, show of hands, get this? I don't have enough time to do this, right? I'm too busy. I love when people tell me that they're too busy, right? I love it because I thought so too. I honestly thought so too. Well, how much time do you think you need? And we know you can fit this into the cracks of your time. Some of the busiest people in our business are very successful and they thought they didn't have time. Why? Because busy people are doing stuff. They're connecting, they're moving and grooving, right? So I'm going to skip over that. I like this. Hey, Bobby, when you said you were fed up with your job, when you said you were fed up with not seeing your kids and missing soccer games, when you said that you were sick and tired of being sick and tired, what were you serious or were you just kidding around? I love that. And I've used that many times, and it works. I'm not saying it works, they enroll like that, but what it does do is it puts them into that emotional state again. Of course I was serious. Well, if you're serious, I seriously have a solution. I'm living this solution. I was that person in XYZ, whatever it is. If it's your health story, if it's your financial story, if it's the golden handcuff story, right? So I love that. Yeah, I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to actually, this is good. We're doing good on time. I love this. I like running on time. So I'm going to turn things over to Lisa now, and she's actually going to talk about events and this blitz that we're all inviting you to, which we have the honor and to be able to invite you to. And she'll tell you about the blitz and some other goodies that are going on right now.
Awesome. Thank you. And, as you can see, there's no way we can completely recap the entire celebration within 1 hour, which is why events are so important. It's not just the information. It's not just the training. It's the culture. It's the community. It's the feeling that you get when you're there. It's being in the room live with Tony Robbins. Holy cow. I don't think one person left that room not completely riveted. That was absolutely amazing, and just such a blessing that the company did that for us. Huge, huge, huge. I want to just start out with gratitude with all of you. Thank you so much for being on the call tonight. Thank you so much for everybody that came to Celebration, and thank you so much for saying yes to Isagenix. We are very, very grateful to each and every one of you, upline, sideline, downline, every line. Just not below the line. So what I wanted to share with you tonight was a couple of the things that are happening contest and promotion wise. We do have 2 brand new promotions in your back office under contests and promotions. And one of my favorite things that happened at Celebration, I have it, is that a couple of the leaders talked about this, about getting to know that contest and promotions tab, looking at it, understanding it. Who cares if you're an associate and the director pool seems miles away? Learn it. Knowing these things will motivate you to get there. And it is not hard to get somewhere when you're super motivated to get there. If you don't have any motivation, you're not going to be motivated to get there. It's all kind of goes hand in hand. So what I want to talk about is the Step Up to 2-Star and the Influencers Summit with Eric Worre, and then I'm going to talk about a blitz that we've been invited to. The Stepping Up to 2-Star, this is a promotion that Isagenix is doing to help people be motivated to step up to 2-Star. This is 2-Star Golden Circle, so that does mean that you need to reach executive and then reach 2-Star. If you are already 2-Star Silver or 1-Star Silver and then you reach the rank of executive, you are then promoted to Golden. So you do not have to do it again once you hit executive. If you're already there, you just have to get to executive. Number one thing on this is go to the Google, ask the Google where to find the map to Crystal Executive, print it out, fill it out. Print out a few of them if you need to, or use Post-its on the wall like Carter has. Get your map to executive filled out. If you don't have names, visualize the type of personality that you want to attract to your business. Visualize a best friend, a new spouse, a new boyfriend, a new dog walker, whatever it is that you are looking for or visualizing that you would like to attract to your business, put that down. But then also back that up with living that. Start to become that. Don't become your new spouse, but start to become the quality of the people that you want to attract, because you are going to attract yourself. If you're negative and down in the dumps all the time, those are the type of people you're going to attract. So start living in the mode of the people that you'd like to bring in. I am not going to give you specific details on what happens in the Step Up to 2-Star, because I want every single one of you to go into the back office, print out the flyer, click on the links, look at this contest. If you are not 2-Star yet, look at this contest. It is amazing. You get a full ride trip to Arizona for some special training with David Wood, and I'm sorry, this one's no, with David Wood, and you get your flight, you get your hotel, and you get this training with David Wood. All right, the 3-star promotion, and this is called the what is it called? Influencer Summit. This one is a contest that's also going to bring you to Arizona. Now, this does not include airfare, does not include the ticket, doesn't include anything like that. This is an encouragement to grow your business. This is a private event with Eric Warre. Huge, 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 awesome reward there. Now, the incentive to try to go for this one is not only to bring your account to 3-star, or if you are a good standing 3-star and you remain paid executive, you will earn your way to this as well. If you have 10 to 14 new customers, you will get a $500 bonus between the dates of August 7th and August 8th. If you have 15 to 19 new customers, and I believe this is 150 BV or more, you get a $1,000 bonus. If you have 20 or more new customers in that time frame, you're going to get $1,000 and a private meet and greet with Jim and Kathy Coover and Eric Warre. So leaders know that these training opportunities are priceless. So they put together that little incentive package to help with flights or airfare in order to get there. But these 2 promotions are huge. Not hard to get either. Just set your mind to it, make the choice to go all in, reach out to everybody around you, ask for help, ask to link arms, ask to do things with each other, and people will help you. Absolutely. We all love when we see someone from our team up on that stage or winning an award. It is the coolest thing. It is very, very powerful. And the more of your team that sees you accomplishing those things, the more they will believe that they can do it. Anybody can go to an event and see all these millionaires on stage, but if they don't know who they are, oh, well, those are just millionaires. That's not me. But if they see you on stage, they now know, they've watched your journey, they can do it too. It is just as important for the leaders to get up on stage that it is for everybody else, because it shows your team not only you doing the do, but it is absolutely possible.
Can you explain what 2-star is?
2-star. 2-star is when you cycle 20 times in 1 week. And there are other ways to get 2-star as well. I'm sorry that I don't have this piece down on these promotions just yet, but you might not have to organically cycle 20 times. You might be able to do it with product introduction bonuses and cycle match. So if you don't know what that is, go into your back office, look in the contests and promotions tab, and absolutely look at those flyers on rank advancements. And as Lisa Damaris who's inside, when you find out, let me know.
Oh, that was great.
Okay, this is the most exciting pieces, because you guys can all read that. This is not in your back office. Angela Maresca invited Jen Murgatroyd about 25 weeks ago to a private blitz, and Jen opened her mouth and invited me, and then I opened my mouth and invited a boatload of other people. So it was not supposed to be open to everyone, but it ended up staying that way, and it was amazing. A lot of us in the blitz hit many new ranks. Josh and I personally hit all of the crystal resets. We rank advanced to 4-star. Our team rank advanced 2, 3 stars, all different resets. It is super powerful. Angela is very good at this. We want to encourage every single one of you to really dig down deep, and even if you think, oh my gosh, making a commitment of 10 to 12 weeks, well, I've got something going on. I don't care. Just make no excuses. Jump into this and do it, because it will ignite your business, and it is super fun. The group of people that get along or get together in this are really funny, really fun. It makes for an exciting thing. It is a competition, but for the most part, what it is it's motivation, it's collaboration, and it's momentum. So what we're doing in this blitz is it says 12-week, but it's going to be leading up to is going to be leading up to these 2- and 3-star contests. Now, it doesn't matter if you're doing the 2-star contest, the 3-star contest, the championship challenge, or you just want to get to manager. This is going to help you grow your business. This is a conduit to just plug in and ignite and work with all different leaders in this company. Laura Hernandez, Angela Maresca, Jen and Mike Murgatroyd,
Ed Golden,
who is the master consultant maker. We can learn a lot from this man.
It's like a meat grinder. He just keeps kicking out consultants. Boom, 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 boom.
So the cool part is that we're going to get a really good smattering of all the different skills that you need to really grow this business. And Angela wanted to take a new approach this time. She really wanted to talk about the things that are tough in this business and the things that people just don't get nitty-gritty with. There's a lot of, how do you grow consultants? What about objections? What's your favorite personal development? This one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to talk about casting vision. We're going to talk about how to become a great leader and ask great questions. We're going to talk about overcoming negative thoughts. We're going to talk about, we are going to talk about objections. We're going to talk about poise and confidence and posture. All of the things that any aspiring leader or someone who just says, you know what, this is me too. I am going that way. These are the building blocks, and this is a little clue too. Angela's very good friends with Susan Sly and Lisa DeMeo, and she presented this to them, and they are so excited. They're not in the Blitz, but they want the information, and Angela said no. She said, we're going to do it. We're going to pilot this, and we are going to be the ones that put these things on the map for Isogenics, and these will go out to the community, because we're going to set such an example of what this can do and the power of helping leadership rise up in the ranks, or just rise up and say hello. It's going to be a very, very fantastic opportunity. So if you are interested in being a part of this Blitz, we are going to do, we as the whole, all of the leaders in the Blitz group, we're going to do a Zoom call Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, because there's already a call at 8 p.m. I think there's a road to Maui or boat to Maui. There's a Maui call at 8, and I think there's probably an Isogenic Zoom call at 8 as well. Maybe not sure. And then we're going to do a Zoom at 9, and what it's going to be is a really quick overview of what it's going to look like, a little bit more in depth than I'm talking about. And Angela's going to get you really, really amped up and excited. And then there's going to be some testimonies of the people who have done the Blitz and what it's done for their business. This is what hooked me into this last time. Angela was so freaking pumped up and so excited about this Blitz. And then the testimonies, people rank advanced, 2, 3, 4 star, 2 stars in one Blitz. I mean, they go nuts, and we track points, and we get points for business building activities. So you're not just sitting around going, yeah, I'm blitzing. You have to turn in your points every week. You have to be held accountable. You have to show up to the meetings. You can get kicked out of this Blitz if you're not showing up. It is serious. It's for people who really, really, really want to turn on the gas. But don't be intimidated by that at all. Just say yes, get in, feel how amazing it is there. You make new friends because you start to meet other people in new teams. The best thing Josh and I ever did was link arms with other teams. It helped us grow our business tenfold. So say yes to this and just go for it, because it will absolutely ignite your business. Just go in, get your 90-day action plan, get it all ready, show up to the call Wednesday night and be like, yeah, I'm ready, I'm in. Form a team. So if you already have a championship challenge team, that's really good, because you can bring your 6 people in. I believe you can have 8 people in the Blitz, so you can have a couple extras if somebody's not in the challenge but they want to be a part of this. You can add a couple more people into your group after the call on Wednesday, or if you just know right now, send me a message and I will get you into the group. You have to have your full team before I will add you to the group, because you're going to then add your team in and then post your team and your team name. But trust me on this, super fun, super cool, super amazing. I mean, we did 3 Blitzes with Angela, and we really, really ignited our business. I say that a lot, but it's true.
Absolutely. And so I said when we started this, for those of you that jumped on a little late, we started this call by saying the difference between being successful and not being successful, and that's your own definition of whatever your definition of success is, it's a choice. This was my choice to fill this out on the plane coming back from Celebration, and I posted it on our team page with my goals, with my rank advancements, my contract, my signature, because if I'm going to put my feet up one day because I'm tired, I can't do that now. Because I'm accountable to everybody that saw this. I'm accountable to the people I sent it to. I'm accountable to my family. Don't work for yourself in this business. Work for your why. Because if you work for yourself, you can take the day off. If I'm working for my kids, can't take the day off. No way. That's the difference. It's a choice. So I encourage you, if you've seen this and you don't know what to do, go step by step. Turn to page 1, go to page 2, page 3. It'll take you through it. Think about this blitz that Lisa just talked about.
Don't think about it. Just say yes.
Just say yes.
isagenixbusiness.com if you want a 90-day action plan. If you were not at Celebration, you can print it right out.
Beautiful. Before we open up the floor for any last comments or questions, Jojo, you want to talk about the recipe?
Sure. Thank you, guys. And thanks for the invitation, Lisa. And that's, we're in.
Yeah.
So, there were many things that I took away from this, but Susan Sly in the morning, can you guys hear that in the background? Is it too loud? Yeah, he's doing the dishes. Isn't that awesome?
How'd you do that?
So I went to Susan Sly and Lisa DeMaio's breakout session in the morning, and I know many of us attended, but for those of us who didn't, she talked about the recipe for success and what a year looks like and what can be, what to strive for your year. So it was a really doable recipe. So if we have a recipe, we can bake a cake, right? Even if you're not the best cook, if you have the steps and you know the recipe, you can do that. So these are all personally enrolled. So personally enroll 5 people a month. When you personally enroll 5 people a month, so you think always free vitamins, right? So every month, no matter what, free vitamins. So 5 people a month. 12 consultants a year. That's 1 a month. That's a totally doable goal, right? 6 to 7 managers a year, 3 to 4 directors a year, 1 to 2 executives a year. That is a totally doable recipe. Does that seem like out of control for anybody? When I heard her say it, like break it down like that, that was totally doable. Like, we're there. We can do that. Everybody can absolutely do that. So 5 people a month, 12 consultants a year. 1 a month. I was like, wow, 1 a month. That's amazing. So I just wanted to share the recipe with you guys. And so you can, it was 3 to 4 directors. So 5 people a month, 12 consultants a year, 6 to 7 managers a year, 3 to 4 directors, 1 to 2 executives.
I love that. That's a roadmap, Jojo. It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
I love it.
I can bake a really good cake with that.
You should be able to hit all the resets with that too.
Absolutely. So let's open this up. We have a few more minutes. I love getting content done in 45 minutes to respect everybody's time, but it's also important to let people ask questions, comments, real short, sweet, tight. Let's just do that now. Does anybody have, and please just unmute yourself and then mute yourself back up when you're done. But let's open the floor up for any questions. There is no such thing as a stupid question. It doesn't exist. I guarantee you 8, 9 people have the same question. They just don't want to raise their hand. So if you're thinking it, there's other people thinking it. So please go right ahead and let's open the floor up for anybody right now. Anybody going once?
Shout out in the chat room. Purchase your tickets.
Hello.
Hey, go right ahead.
Can you hear me?
Hi. My name's Casey Gardner, and I actually didn't make it to convention, but I've really felt your guys' love all the way from Vegas. I just want to say I'm super excited for this. I'm excited to be back on. And then it's really awesome because of this contest. I did my 90-day, and my goal is to be a 2-star. And so I'm really excited for this, and I just wanted to make a comment, send some love.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for saying that. Say it again.
Congratulations on already filling out your 90 days.
Yeah, beautiful. Who else? Any questions, comments? Yeah, Shauna.
I do. I have a question.
Hey.
So my question is, you know, when you're like trying to get people involved in the business side, and you're like telling them, you know, it's like life changing, and you make this money, and like you're helping people, but you're making money, and you know you can make all this income. But it hasn't happened for me yet because I'm new. How do I like convey that in a way that seems like I don't want people to look at me. I feel like they look at me like, well, you're not there yet. So how do you know? You know what I mean? And I know there's you know, talking to other people and like saying, you know, there's other millionaire, all these people in the company, and it just doesn't seem like I feel like I lose people sometimes. Like they look at me like through me. So that's my question.
Beautiful question. By a show of hands, who else has ever felt like that when you started out, or does feel like that now? Right. I want to let someone else. That is a great question, and it comes up a lot. I want to ask someone else who here would like to answer that. Anybody on here want to?
Can I nominate Aura to answer that because?
Oh,
sure.
You got it down.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Philip help me a little. I have the flu, so I'm. Sorry, guys, but he's gonna take it away because we were just talking about it.
Yay!
Let's do it.
And thanks for the nomination.
She voluntold you.
She voluntold me.
Thanks for the pass off.
Called team. It's called team.
Yes.
One team.
Woo!
One team.
My take from this, because I've had this challenge before, and I didn't raise my hand, but I should have. And the challenge is, and I just got off the phone with somebody in my team that has this challenge right now. So it's quite ironic that I got passed to answer this question because it's kind of on the tip of my tongue. And realistically, I would just say change your approach and change your focus. If you look at wanting to actually help someone through life's challenges and struggles that comes against us all in a wide variety of what it is, the best thing to do is not really go into the direction of making a business builder, go into the direction of caking someone to find out what they really need of their helps. It could just be as simple of energy and fatigue. It could be something really, really, really big like type 2 diabetes, and they can't pull out of their, what I learned from the convention, 9 to 5 norm thinking, and be able to go, wow, I can go be a millionaire, or I can go be a consultant and make a certain amount of money because right now from 9 to 5 I'm getting paid, but you know what, I'm tired. And at the end of the day from getting paid, and I sit in my chair all day long and I have body fat that I can't get off, and I'm lethargic and I don't sleep very well. And so there's an array of conversations that will come out of, don't even think about the money end of it, think about what is at their heart. And because what is behind the heart of getting help eventually will project you to get the money. And then later on in the future, you'll have another approach when you want to work with them on, wow, you've been starting to get paid. So what did you do? And you're just going to explain, I just wanted to help someone. Just wanted to share with them. I just wanted to coach them and get them their 30 days of success. And then from there, changing someone's life reciprocates down the line of making money. And realistically, let your team help you with that. Who your sponsor is and who brought you in. And any of us on this call, I guarantee you, if you reach out, send any of us a PM, we would love to get on the phone with you and be able to walk through some of those things. And it's pretty amazing that I'm that guy that reached out to the guy that's holding this call right now, Dr. Josh. And I just got to give him the credit because that's who's taught me this, that when I bring my people that I can't answer the question to, he's someone that is always willing to help and give his heart. And his heart is to help people from day one in his job. It has just led him into the platform that he gets to step off of now to be leading this team and to make some money. So if I answer that in the good enough, say yeah. If not, ask more questions and I'll go a little bit deeper if you'd like to.
That is awesome, PJ. Thank you so much. And I want to expand on that. That was beautiful. Let me expand a little bit on that because that's the first step. The second step, and this is how I think. If you're an associate and you're collecting BV, you're making money. You just haven't been paid yet. And so if you think about that, you know, the employee mentality is I go to work, I punch a clock, I get a paycheck. The entrepreneur mentality is I'm going to work my butt off now. I may not get paid for a few months or a few years. I mean, if you've owned a business or own a business, raise your hand for a second, right? It's not all the glory that everybody thinks. Sometimes you never get paid. 90% of businesses fail in a short period of time. So if you're an associate, if you're an entrepreneur, you're getting, the money's being collected, okay? It's just being held for you in account. So number one, you are successful. If you're day one in this business, you're successful. If you had points come in from your system and it's sitting there waiting to turn into money, you're successful. The other part of this is, if you're a contractor and you're building a house, okay? And I share with my client, I've built, 1 or 2 houses before, and I help people build houses. And I've only built the foundation to their house. Am I a failure because the foundation's done? No, I'm just getting started. Just because the walls aren't up and the roof isn't up doesn't mean I'm a failure contractor. It means it's a journey, right? And so you can be day one on this journey. I just tell people, share it authentically. I'm getting started. I am on track to retire. If you're a school teacher or you own a hardware store or you're a massage therapist, I'm on track to retire from my job in 14 months. I'm on track to leave my job in 14 months. I'm on track to leave in 24 months. Whatever your goal is, share it with them so they know it's real. They know you're on a journey. You're not at the top of the mountain yet. And I think when you're honest about that, absolutely, they're not going to look at this, well, you haven't made $1 million. They're going to say, wow, you're on a journey and I can be on that journey too. So
the other thing that you can add into that is, if everybody, all the leaders on this call, listen to that voice, well, I'm not successful yet, so I can't go out and talk to people about this, the leaders wouldn't be here. We all saw a vision. We all knew what the potential was here. We see what this vehicle will allow in everyone's lives, and we just share and talk about it, and we don't worry about when the success arrives. It just does, because you just keep sharing.
Awesome. Thank you. PJ, that was beautiful, my friend.
Yeah,
anybody else? Shauna, did that help?
Not necessarily. What I meant was.
So, Shauna.
I'm sorry.
Josh.
Oh, Brian.
Hey, Shauna.
Hey, go ahead, Dr. Brian.
Okay, so I know what Shauna's asking, because it's one of the biggest things in the game that it's what we do. It's you're trying to sell somebody on a business that you're not making any money in, and so she's having a difficult time with that. So before I get into the specifics of what I do, remember what Tony Robbins said too, right? They're going to buy your energy. They're not buying your product. They're not buying your product, and they're not buying your business, but they're going to buy your energy. So if you're excited about what you're doing, they're going to want that. They're going to follow that. But so that's one thing. That's the way I would go at that. But I think of me and what I've done. How did I get people involved? Was I could avoid that question by telling them my story prior. So, and what I mean by that, Shauna can use you guys as a friend that was my friend that is doing so well and has that 5-year exit strategy, and I wasn't going to let him leave me behind. So when you're getting into that, I let him know. Like, I remember being the first person I talked to. I wasn't making any money. I didn't even know what I was doing, right? And so, but I have friends that are doing it, and I have friends that are making money, that are doing very well, that don't have to go to work, that have been successful in this. And so I start off with, my friends asked me to do this 2 years ago, and I said no. And now they don't have to go to work. They can spend time with their friends and their family. They can stay in Aruba for more than a week if they want, right? They can do whatever they want to do. And I said no to them 2 years ago. And so now they've shown me how to do it, and I'm all in. And so I think you need to maybe get to those points prior. And so Shauna knows you, and she also met somebody else that I know personally that was doing so well in the 2 years. So she can say her friends as well now, right? She has friends that are doing it. And as long as people know you have personal, and I tell them I have personal friends that are doing this, then that never comes up. It never says, well, what are you making? It just never did. They're just like, oh, you do. And they'll follow along. I think that answers your question, Shauna. No?
Yeah, I mean, that's better. Yeah. Like I have a friend who is on it, who wants to sell it. He does, but I think he's a little skeptical, and so that was kind of like, how do I explain it to him? But I mean, that makes sense, you know. I'll hook him up with a three-way call probably with Josh and Lisa. Eventually, I'm going to see him tomorrow. But all right, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's where we use the tools. We can talk. JoJo, you want to chime in?
I just wanted to say, Shauna, you know, we all start at the same point. Nobody starts at a higher point than anybody else. So we all came in the same spot and have built this together. So when you are able to ask them what they want for their space. So what does it look like? If time and money weren't an issue for you, what would your life look like? So if that's something that we can create together, because your vision may not be their vision. They may have something that's completely different, and so what fires them up isn't what you're fired up about. But to ask them and find that out and work from that spot and say, let's work together to get us both to where we want to be. And we have an amazing team we have the proof. The proof is there that it works. We have the team around us that can teach us and support us there. So come with me and let's do it together. I don't want to be 5 years down the road and have you go, oh my gosh, I wish I would have come with you.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Brian. Thank you, JoJo, Shauna. That was awesome. We're going to wrap things up because of time. This was such a great call. I would love to keep going.
There was a quick question about the Blitz. The Blitz call will be recorded. We'll post in everybody's teams the link to get on the Zoom, and then afterwards we'll post the recording. It will have the rules of the Blitz in it as well.
Yep, 9:00 Wednesday night Eastern Standard Time. I want to end with one last takeaway. This was by far, every year these events, ICU, Celebration, these events get better and better. They just really do. They've been doing this for a long time. They are professionals, expert with, just everything is class A. Everything is class A all the way. But for me personally, this was my favorite celebration. And yes, because of the trainers, yes, because of the material, but most importantly, because our oldest, Caleb, who just turned 18, was there. And he stepped into Celebration, not really knowing what this was, taking notes the entire time, playing at 1,000%. This is a legacy company. Jen Gebby, sorry. Legacy 5-year-olds running around. At 9:00, what time is it?
It's their birthday. I'm just letting it go.
So, Jen Gebby and I were talking about this. This is a legacy company. They changed the platinum to legacy. Is that right? To
they
the
changed
title.
millionaire to legacy.
Millionaire to this is a legacy. Caleb can do whatever he wants. He could have 100% of this or 0, and that's his choice. But I want to ask Caleb just a couple words, couple takeaway. You're 18 years old. You're seen. We have shakes on the counter. You feel good. Your body's changing. What we do. But can you share a couple anything you want to share just about your experience being there in person?
Yeah. So first of all, going to Celebration, that was by far one of the most amazing experiences I've ever done. That week was so cool getting to meet other people involved in this business. It's like when we're at home and working on our business, we can communicate with our team, we can communicate with other people that we've met, but being surrounded by all these people that are part of this business, it's like, whoa, like there are a lot of people doing the same thing that I'm doing. That's really cool. It's really just something that you can't explain to people. It's just, you have to be there. You got to get your people there. That's huge. If your people go there, $1,000, like you're going to be making money off of them. That's for sure.
I love it.
There's so many great leaders teaching us. Michael Klaus, that was a great presentation. Angelique's motivational thing. And I forgot the name of whoever presented about the Skidmore College study. That right there, that was an eye opener for me. I think if I think a performance, the amp line is good for someone, I'm going to tell them about the Skidmore College study, because that's just huge. How being on these Isogenics products, just the results were so much better than people being on a heart healthy diet and on these GNC protein powders, pre-workouts. It's crazy. Aside from all the learning, it was a huge party. That's for sure. It was really fun. Sneaking into the Crystal Rally, that was a lot of fun. Watching John Calvi Shepherd dance with a cardboard cutout of himself. Sneaking into the Star Party was fun. I think my biggest goal is to actually earn my way into those.
That's a good goal.
Those parties next celebration. And Tony Robbins was really amazing. I feel so inspired, and I learned so much from listening to that guy talk. And we got that for the price of our ticket. I think that's really cool. You know, he taught me, and I'm sure everyone, to get out of their comfort zone, to do things they're not used to doing. For me, I hate talking to people. That's why I really need to push myself to go far in this business. Like right now, I don't like talking to people like this in front of all you guys. This is kind of, but I'm doing it. So that's one step. Whatever small step takes you to takes the bigger picture. That's the most important. And stop using my head so much. I always get caught up in like, oh, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? Make conversation. What do I say next? What do I say next? If you just let your heart and if you let your inside speak for you, then it flows and it starts coming a lot easier. That's all I have to say.
I think Caleb's going to host the rest of the cause.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Caleb, I'm so proud of you, my friend. This is from the eyes of an 18-year-old, just so passionate. And so Caleb's first enrollment, Will, just enrolled a couple weeks before Celebration. Caleb got him out to Celebration. He was there with us also. I don't know if he's able to listen tonight. I know he was traveling or was on the call. But
he's here.
All right. Hey, Will, wherever you are, my friend. So thank you, Clubby. We love you, buddy. All of you, thank you for being here tonight. We hope there was a value presented. We have an amazing team. We have amazing leaders. We have the most amazing vehicle to change our lives. However far you want to take it, it's here for the taking. So plug in. The business becomes fun when we do it fast. It's kind of painful doing it slow. We have so many tools to get the party started. So let's plug in and get on the Blitz Call Wednesday night. Be a part of it with us. Let's do this. Any last minute words from anybody? Quick, anythings?
Do the do.
Do the do. Love you guys.
Ice the body, healthy mind and body. Get involved in contests. Read your back office. Do the do.
Woo!
Your team will do what you do.
Love all of you. Take care.
Good night.
Is Zoom a free service?
Jojo, you hanging out for a few minutes?
Zoom is a free service up until 40 minutes and 50 people, and after that you have to pay for it. And make sure you're muted before you start talking.
I pay for it.
So yeah, you can get a free Zoom that'll go 40 minutes.
And then it cuts you off.
Yeah. Cuts you off after that. Yeah. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So I had upgraded mine when we did a big call with David Wood, and then they just upgraded it again for me. So now we can do 300. Like, well, there's a goal.
Awesome.
Very, very good.
Jojo.
I'm here.
Yeah, we're just waiting for.
You want to shut the recording off?
Oh, that's a good idea.